Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Improve Your Customer Service with SharePoint and Office 365 webinar. We're just going to get going in a minute or two. My name is Scott Restivo. I'm CEO of Crow Canyon Software, and I'll be running this webinar. We'll go through a few slides at first and then get right into a demo of the actual customer service for SharePoint and Office 365 application. So let's get started. I think enough people have shown up now. Some people straggling a little later, so we'll get going. Okay, so Crow Canyon's been around doing applications in the SharePoint and Office 365 space for many years, over 10 years now. The company has been in business for over 20 years doing applications on top of the Microsoft platforms. We started out in the Outlook Exchange and public folders and then moved over to SharePoint and Office 365 once that became more prevalent in applications. So we have IT help desk, asset management, customer service, facilities requests, a number of these business process applications. Now this webinar is focused on customer service and support. However, we do have the other ones available. If you're interested in those, let us know. We'd be glad to talk about that. And you'll see the capabilities, many of the capabilities that show up in the customer service program show up in the other applications. Just a few things to get going first before we get into the webinar. If you have questions, you can put them into the question box in your GoToWebinar. We'll try and answer them during the webinar, but we may not get to them till after. But in any case, we'll answer them either during or after the webinar. Also, there will be a recording of the webinar available to anyone who registered, and we'll send that out within a day or two of the finish of this webinar. Customer service covers a wide range of capabilities and possibilities. Really, it's any kind of post-sale interaction with your customers. Now, this could take any range of possibilities. I mean, it could be simply just a question and inquiry. It could be involving complaints. It could be involving suggestions, billing questions. It really depends on what your particular needs are in your organization. So what we want to do is go through this. I'll go through this webinar in kind of a generic sense of what customer service can be, but everybody, I'm sure each one of you have your specific needs in customer service. And I want to emphasize that our program is adaptable to meet most of those kind of requirements, whatever kind of customer service you need to have, whether it's straight out customer service, product support, client services, field service, membership support. The program is very, very flexible to cover a lot of different areas that you might do in your customer service, and we can talk about that and adapt it to your particular needs. Now, everybody knows why superior customer service pays off. I just thought I'd put it in here just as a reminder at the beginning that having superior and really excellent customer service is very, very important, and it's almost like so obvious I don't have to go into it, but just to repeat, it's customer satisfaction, repeat business, the social aspect of it, what's your reputation, are people talking about you, be an evangelist, positive reviews on the site, if that spurs growth, partners want to work with you. Many, many reasons to go ahead with that. I'm sure we all know that. I won't belabor that point too much. But the thing is, even though we realize this, putting that into effect is sometimes more difficult than it seems. Because you have to have the right system in place and the right processes. Another question that comes up here is why use Office in 365 and SharePoint for customer service? There's many kinds of customer service programs out there, but why would you want to use Office 365 and SharePoint for the customer service needs that we just talked about? Well, one thing is there's single sign-on, so you're reducing the number of logins that are coming into your system. You don't have to log into a separate SaaS solution or another database solution or something like that. You can look at there's lower cost because there's reduced admin overhead in maintaining the different systems and the training. If you're trained in SharePoint and you're trained in Office 365, this is a very natural evolution of that training to work with our programs. Another big point is highly configurable. We have people talking to us about SaaS solutions and the limited capabilities because they're dealing with a mass audience in a SaaS solution. And our program is very highly configurable to adapt it to your particular needs, down to creating workflows, forms, processes. I'll show you that more in the demo. And also it integrates with the full Office 365 suite if you're in Office 365. I'll make a point that our program works in SharePoint on-premises 2013, 2016, or it works in Office 365. What I'm showing you today is pretty much the Office 365 version of the program, but we also have a version that works quite well in SharePoint on-premises in the same manner. Okay, so here is our customer service. We'll jump right into it and cover a few more slides and get into the demo. So SharePoint out of the box, as most of you well know, has quite a bit of capabilities. Certainly a very useful program. It has sites, lists, it has permissioning, integration with Active Directory. There's a lot you can do to customize it, but it doesn't have enough to really be a full business process application. That's our experience. We've been doing this for over 10 years, and we found that there's a number of missing components with SharePoint, whether on-premises or in Office 365, that need to be added. You know, different forms, workflows, custom columns, email synchronization, integration with databases, things like this. These are things we developed here at Crow Canyon Software in order to make it into a true business process application platform. So what we have done with Crow Canyon, we developed what we call the Nitra Layer. So there's SharePoint or Office 365 where the on-premises are in the cloud. And then on top of that, we develop forms and portals that drive user adoption. How do you engage and empower users? Well, we develop forms and portals and other capabilities that affect the UI and UX and make it powerful and useful and engaging for the end users and also for the staff. Also, automating workflows and streamlining processes is a very important part of developing an application. And we have workflow managers, custom actions, and other ways of managing business processes to automate and accelerate the movement of a ticket through the process of resolution. And then reporting and analytics is another aspect that helps drive continuous cycle of improvement, because not only do you want to know what is going on immediately in your management program, whether it's customer service request or service desk type program, you also want to know how you can improve it and what are the most prevalent problems, where's the bottlenecks, and that's reporting and analytics produce that. And from that, we're able to develop the Crow Canyon applications, one of which you'll see today, the customer service, and do custom development on top of it. We will not delve deep into the Nitra Layer in this webinar. We can do that in other webinars, some information on our website. And again, I encourage anyone to get in touch with us one-on-one to talk about applications or the Nitra Layer. There's a number of apps in here. This is the Office 365 apps. We also have web parts for the on-premises that provide a lot of that functionality I just mentioned of UI, UX, workflows, and reporting. So rather than dig into that in this webinar, we'll go right into customer service. So with customer service, one of the first questions is, who are your customers? They can be individuals or they can be accounts. Individuals, in a sense, is just one person calls up. Maybe you have many people who buy your product or use your service. You don't really have to a need to keep track of those people in any kind of organized system. So it's kind of a one-off thing where they'll call up or phone, and then you'll record that on the ticket, but you won't keep a record of it. But more often, you're dealing with accounts, which are companies, organizations. In those organizations or companies are individuals, contacts, we'll call them contacts in this context. And though you want to keep track of those people, they could be companies you work with, you sell to, have constant interaction with, and the contacts in those companies. And it could be clients, partners, all kinds of ways of interacting with those other companies and keeping track of the interaction with them ongoing. So in our demo, we have this imaginary company called the Sticky Glue Company. The Sticky Glue Company, if it bears any resemblance to an existing company, that's purely incidental. And but we developed this with the idea that we could show individuals and accounts. So here's the idea. It sells to retail stores where consumers go in and buy it. It also sells to woodworking shops, installers, cabinet makers who buy larger quantities, maybe a whole pallet of glue or a barrel of glue or some kind of adhesive. Now, what happens is individuals and consumers, when they buy it, they may have a problem with one of the bottles or one of the products or whatever. So they're going to try and contact the Sticky Glue Company and get a resolution to that problem. Now, accounts such as retail stores and woodworking shops, etc., are kept in a database, SharePoint list in this case for the demo, and they are record. When you open up the account, you see all the tickets that have gone on. You'll see the contacts, the related contracts, orders. So it's a much more comprehensive view of this organization called the account, whether it's a store, woodworking shop. Now, in your case, this is a demo. You have to use a little imagination to adapt it to your particular situation, where maybe you're just doing individuals, you don't need accounts. Maybe you're just doing accounts, you don't need individuals. Maybe you need both. Maybe they're not accounts, they are other clients or other partners, people you work with. So there's all kinds of ways to arrange this program. But for the demo, we had to choose something that kind of gives a generic view of what we can do with this program. So when we're talking about accounts, the one question that comes up is, where is the customer data kept? So if you can open up a ticket for an account, where's the data coming from of the account record and who's in that account? So, okay, we're doing SharePoint lists in this demo, but it could be other sources, and we integrate with all of these: Active Directory, databases, CRM systems, even Salesforce, MS Dynamics, membership records. So we can pull that data into the ticket form. And, it could be like a membership ID goes to membership database and pulls the members record in. It could be choosing an account that then pulls the information from the Dynamics, that kind of thing. But in our demo, we're going to do SharePoint lists. Sticky Glue Company keeps their information of their accounts in SharePoint lists. Okay, let me go back to this slide because I meant to point something else out here, sorry. When individuals contact the company, they can use email, phone, web form, or chat, and the name and details are kept only on the ticket. Somebody can send an email, somebody can call up, somebody can use a web form or chat. The accounts and retail stores can do the same thing, but also we have this portal. And the portal is, this screen you're looking at here, is a highly configurable interface that allows you to give a nice presentation to the account or contact that's coming to interact with you and create a support ticket or view their existing tickets. Now, individuals don't get this. They just have one-off interactions. They create a ticket, you send them back some response, it settles it. But with the accounts and clients and partners, you have this ongoing relationship where they can log in and you can develop this we can help you develop, or you can develop. There's a lot of ways to configure this to be specific to what the needs are. And then they have this very engaging interface where they can submit a ticket and view a knowledge base. We'll go into that in the demo. So from this now, I'll launch into the demo, and then you'll see this Sticky Glue Company in action here. So let me get out of this here and go over to the actual site itself. So now we are looking right now at the back end SharePoint of Sticky Glue's customer service program. You have a list of tickets that have come in from various sources involving various categories, issue types, various places they came in from, various types of tickets. This is pretty standard SharePoint. It's dressed up a little. You can come in here and do many things with grouping and sorting these tickets. You can group them by account. You can group them by brand. Products. Sticky Glue sells these 4 different brands. You can come in and just see consumer tickets that have come in from individuals. You can go in and see account tickets from all the accounts. And many ways you can do this. I'm sure if you're used to SharePoint, you're pretty familiar with this kind of manipulation of the interface of the list setting. You can sort by, you can say all the complaints and sort that, and all kinds of things you can do there. So that's pretty standard, but it gives a good way to see what's going on with your tickets right away. Now, we talked about how a ticket is created. So let's start right there. Now, somebody's going to come in and create a ticket in this customer service. Oh, this is great. Okay, so they're going to go in and send an email. Maybe they know your address already. Support at your customer support at yourcompany.com. We're using this one for the demo, but normally it'd be like customer support at yourcompany.com or whatever. And then they're going to fill out subject and send it in, and that's going to become a ticket in the system. Here in the system. In time, using our email synchronization process that will convert that email into a ticket. Now, why that's happening, we can look at another way that an end user can submit a ticket. That is by going to a web form. So what I did, I used our website, and please excuse that. Normally this would say Sticky Glue up here. I didn't have time to create a whole website for Sticky Glue, but I did have time to create a form. So here's a form that would be accessed from maybe the Sticky Glue website. Contact us. Do you have a problem, question? Okay, let's fill out the form and send it in. So I filled it out. This is from an individual. He's asking a question: how do I caulk a fish tank? So he's going to send in that that inquiry into there. And ooh, there's a problem. Okay, I got to enter a valid email address. Okay, that makes sense. And then I can submit it from there. Okay, so I'll submit it. And I'll go into the system. So, and he gets a little comment. Of course, all this is configurable on your website according to what web forms you use and that kind of thing. But it shows that there's various ways for people to submit in tickets to the system, whether it's email, a web form, and they're going to come in here and be created in the system and then acted upon. Now, somebody can also call up, and then the person will come in and create, somebody who takes the phone call would open up a new ticket, decide whether it's from a consumer or an account. Now, what we have is dynamic forms. So if it's a consumer, we're changing what information is collected versus an account. You see that change right there? There's a consumer. We're just going to type in literally the name of the person, the email, the phone. We want to know their address because we might want to send them coupons, something like that to, oh, the product doesn't work. Here's a free coupon. Go get some new product or whatever. But an account, we have a list of the accounts. The list is here from a drop list. And when I choose one of these accounts, it's going to come up with the specific names that are associated with that account. And if I change it, it's different people. So this is one of our features, the cascaded lookup. Also, the dynamic forms is another feature that we have here. Now, these account and contacts are pulling from a list here and a list here that is in SharePoint. As I mentioned earlier, it could come from a CRM. It could be some kind of account ID you put in here, and then it's going to go grab that from a database or CRM or whatever and put that information in. In this case, it's pulling it from the accounts and contact list that we have here in SharePoint. So I go here and I choose this person. It fills in her email, contact, job title, whatever you want to pull in from that contact into this ticket, and then you can submit the ticket in and it becomes a new ticket in our system. So what problem is she having? Order number 2345, whatever, is late, right? So she wants to make a complaint about delivery and it's delays, and then she put details in. She could attach an attachment like the order, perhaps, and okay. And so that's being sent in and saved, okay? And then we look in all tickets and see what's going on here. See order number, what is late. This is a question inquiry from the website. This is my email that I sent in. Okay, so this is the email I sent in that I showed earlier in this demo just a few minutes ago. I sent in this email from my Outlook account, and it knows it's from skyreceiver@crowcanyon.com. I put the CS demo here. That's just because something internally we have to do. You wouldn't normally have that there. And it put in here, and now I have a ticket about this that then can be processed in our system. This one came from the web form. See, we're getting different ways of entering information into the system from various ways of doing it. So this is the web form. All the data of the web form is kept here in the description. So, in a more sophisticated implementation, we would take and parse that information out and add those fields into the various tickets. Like this address would be put in here. We're not doing this in the demo, but in a real system, we would parse that email out, and that would fill in all the information here automatically. Now, the other one was created directly in the system. So let's do it, a consumer ticket here. And I'm on the phone with somebody. Somebody just called me up. Hello, I'm having a problem with your product. Oh, really? What's the problem? So I've got to understand what they are. Maybe there's the caulk tube is hardened because this is a glue company. They sell glue. Oh, the caulk tube is hardened. Okay. Can I get your name and address and all that, and put all that information in? So whatever, Bob Jones or whatever, I don't know. And some address like bj@gmail1.com. I'm typing, I'm listening to him as he talks. What's your phone number? Oh, it's 888-0999.777, whatever. Okay, I'll put that in. And then address, I won't go through all that. And what's that? Oh, it's the tube is, okay, so you have a complaint about, let's see, dried up product perhaps. So that all is going to be entered in. Then I can also ask, hey, Bob, Mr. Jones, whatever, what brand? Oh, it's Super Caulk. Okay, what's the product? Super Caulk number 2, and this could be drop lists in a real system. You might have it drop list. Actually, number 23. This could be a drop list. Then I might ask them, Bob, can you take that tube and give me the lot number on it, that little printed thing there? Okay, what is that? 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And then it goes in, and then, where'd you buy it? Oh, you bought it at Home Depot in, Kansas City, whatever, something like that. And when purchased, it was purchased on what's today? Well, like say 1/20/18. We can gather whatever information. Now this is configurable according to what you need to gather about your people, according to what product or service you're delivering. Highly configurable, easy to put this in. I just did this for the sticky glue company to show. And here we go, and we save this in, and it becomes a new ticket into the system. That's how you do it. Like phone calls into the system would come in, and now you have this in here, and it can be worked on. It's going to be worked on throughout the whole, through to resolution, assigned to somebody. Maybe, there's some issue that has to be uploaded or forwarded over to engineering or product development or something like that. However this gets resolved it depends on what kind of issue it is, of course, and what the process is and what it is. And there's various workflows we can implement that automate that. So maybe if it's this kind of problem, it's going to automatically be given out to some particular person, automatically assigned through our workflow engine. We'll go into that in a moment. Right now, what I want to do is go back to the portal and do as an account person coming in. So right we have here, I'm in his admin account, and I can come in and configure this portal with portal settings. But I also logged in 2 other places. One is as, here's the same thing, but now I'm logged in as Jennifer Rodriguez. Jennifer Rodriguez is part of the Northwest Distribution Company, and she wants to submit let's say a question. She wants to come in and submit a question. So she clicks this. And again, those can be arranged any way you want. This portal is highly configurable. It's really actually kind of fun to work with and make it into something, the form look how you want. It's amazingly configurable, and all that's done in those portal settings of how this form is set up. But we know, since it's logged in as Jennifer Rodriguez, she has logged into the portal. She's an account, a contact in an account called Northwest Distribution Company. We know who it is, we know her contact, her phone, and then she has to put in the information as to what kind of problem she is getting right there. So let's say her problem is a pallet of sticky glue had 7 leaking bottles. I don't know, something like that. Maybe the caps weren't screwed on quite right. So she's complaining about that. Let's see, let's say that's a leakage problem, okay? And she might put in some information. She might attach a document here, whatever, and then she's going to submit that into the system. So save it. Now she's created here. Now when she comes back here, she can view all the tickets that she submitted. Jennifer Rodriguez, here's all the tickets that she submitted. Here's the status, the case ID, who's working on it, all this. She can open up and view it, and she can also edit it and add in some more comments on that if she likes. Pretty cool. If she wanted to, before she created a ticket, she could also look at our knowledge base and see if there's anything there that she might want to have there. Let's say sealant, if she's looking up sealant, something on sealants, she can come in here and see the articles that are related to that. Now, this is really cool stuff, because what we're doing is you are able to give your accounts and contacts ways to find information very easily through this portal. They get to the point where they really like coming here. They can submit a new ticket, they can view a ticket, they can go to knowledge base, and they can get real information in real time about this products and services that you provide. We also can put our FAQs over here, and you can dress up as many of these, add as many of these as you want. Another cool aspect of this is that it's mobile friendly. Look at that. You can just, when you get to a mobile screen, you got your hamburger here, you're doing all kinds of interaction with this portal through a mobile device. Pretty cool stuff, really. Now, there's one more thing that's even makes this even more interesting, is that there is a company admin. I'm going to the same screen again here, same portal, but now we're logged in. I have these different logins in different browsers. We're logged in as Jessica Daniels. Well, what's the difference between Jessica Daniels and Jennifer Rodriguez, other than their name? The difference is Jessica Daniels is a company admin for Northwest Administrator. She now has this thing called company tickets. She can come in and see all the tickets that have been entered by anyone in Northwest Distribution. All the ones by Jennifer Rodriguez and all the ones by her personally. So we just entered this one, a pallet of sticky glue. Well, here you go. It's right here in the company tickets. She didn't enter this ticket, Jessica, but being a company admin of Northwest Distribution Company, she's able to see all these tickets. Now, if she wants to limit the view to just her tickets that she, Jessica, entered, she can do that and just see the one she entered here, and like that. So either way, you can have a company admin seeing all the tickets. You can have the ordinary user, you might say, or less than admin Jennifer here seeing just her tickets. So it's really a great way to manage your interaction with the customer and give them a lot of capabilities to self-service and see without having to email you back and forth as what's the status of my ticket, what's this, what's that. Well, here you have it right there. Now, just briefly, I'm back on the admin account. Hope I'm not clicking through these screens too quickly. They all look alike, but they're logged in as different people. So to show you the different aspect, I'm now logged in as the admin, and I can come in and change the portal settings with our really cool back end here that can do all these different ways of setting up what the UI, what the picture, the header, the footer, the menu. This is the portal settings that the admin has access to, and set up different portal pages, add the FAQs, all kinds of interesting things can be done back here. The end users don't, the accounts like Jennifer and Jessica, they don't see that. But I'm saying as an admin, you can really easily configure it without any coding. You don't even have to get us involved. Sometimes we are, sometimes we're not, but there's a lot you can do here on your own to make this really, really work well. Now that's all about a long spiel about entering tickets, because that's an important part of it. When people enter the tickets, the next question is, what happens after they're entered in? Here's the one that just came in from Jennifer, by the way, from the portal right there. Palette of, that one. Okay, it comes in. The ticket comes in, whether from email, the web form, from the portal, from someone creating it directly in the back end. Well, now something has to happen, and that's where our Nitra apps really start to kick in terms of workflows here. So let's go here and look at what you can do. Look at the Nitra apps and what goes on behind the scenes and underlaying this application, what makes it so unique and powerful, and it's also the basis of our other applications. So let's look at that. If you click this wrench, you're going to get over to Nitra Studio Apps. These are administration available to you when you purchase our program, and you can come in. We're in the customer service site, and there's many, about 16 or so apps here, 18 apps, I guess. And what happens is these are something you click, and then you go in and make changes to, whether it's the forms, the workflows, the reports, the Power Portal. You can do advanced approval systems, advanced lookup, branding, cascaded lookups, conditional formatting, setting up, like if it turns red, if it's overdue or something like that, actions that go up in the ribbon of the ticket. Oh, there's so much cool stuff you can do with this. It's really, really fun. I spent the last week working on this customer service, and it's just so much you can do with these. I even impressed by what our team has come up with here. It's quite something. So anyway, back to what we can do with the workflows. Let's look at that. Here's the workflows, the Nitra workflows. And in this case, let's get the ones for the ticket system. When a ticket comes in, an item is added, we have a workflow right here that says notify account rep. Well, that's a good thing. Other things that can happen when an item is created, you might want to auto reply back to the user. You might want to automatically assign it. You might want to notify someone besides the account rep. Any kind of actions can take place through these workflow manager here. You can set an SLA, a due date. You can notify people, update, create other items. Maybe it has to have subtasks. But let's look at this one called notify account rep. So what is going on here is that we're saying the name is notify account rep. It's running on the tickets list in the customer service site. An item is created, and when the type of ticket equals account, we are going to send an email to the account rep. The account rep is actually on the account, not the ticket. So we're looking over to the account list because we know what account it is, pulling in the rep name and sticking it in an email and sending it out to the account rep. in a certain preset template that says you are in charge of Northwest Distribution Company. You're the account rep for that. And Jessica or Jennifer have just entered in a ticket. We think you might want to know about this so you can keep track of all your support issues and requests that come in from any one of the customers you're in charge of. So things like that can be done according to what you need done in your system. And we can configure workflows not only when items created, but also modified, deleted, maybe the time, like it's getting close to the due date. Okay, let's inform somebody, let's escalate it, let's do something about this and not let it just sit there and languish. You can also do a schedule time, like every first of the month, do something. But most of the time, item created, an item is modified, and based on the date time, such as due date, the workflows will run. You can set up multiple actions that occur with multiple conditions and have a very, very powerful way to help automate streamline the business processes that go on and move it through to completion. And this is what helps drive customer service, because the quicker and more accurately you can answer problems and questions, the better service you're providing to people. It's one of the ways. Anyway, so an item's modified could be when the status changes or the assignment changes and that kind of thing. You know, you can do a workflow there too, send out notifications, alerts. Very, very powerful capability. And that's just one of the many apps we have in here. We have the forms, the workflows, the reports. I showed you some of the portal already and all these other things that are in here. And like I said, I don't want to go too deep into this and just show you that it does underlie it. And we want to do a one-on-one talk about what these things actually do. We can, and I'd be very interested in discussing that further with anybody who's interested. So back to the program itself. We have a palette of sticky glue came in. We notify the account rep through that workflow. We send an email back, perhaps another workflow, send an email back to Jennifer saying, hey, we got it, we're working on it. And then as we go through the process, we'll be assigning it to somebody or maybe some kind of other way of resolving it. I don't know. It depends on what it is and what the workflow process is for these kinds of tickets. But let's look at the ticket itself. We have the account. It's an account ticket. The title, we know what the account is for, who the contact is. We can send an email to Jennifer through this system and say, Jennifer, we need more details. Can you send us some other information on it? And she'll send it back to us, and that becomes part of the email history of the ticket. We can update the additional information here and add in perhaps that it was sticky glue. I think it was, sticky glue palette here. So we know that there was a sticky glue, what version of it, what order number. Then we could assign it to somebody. Let's go ahead and assign it to James. James is here and came in from the portal, and it's a normal, let's make it high priority, and the due date should be maybe, let's say by, let's say by tomorrow. Why not? This kind of thing. And there's no resolution yet, but if there was, we could make up our resolutions. Of course, this list is configurable according to your needs. Make up some resolutions here, maybe forward to product development, forward to engineering, whatever, that kind of thing, and we'll save it. Now, when I did this, I just assigned it. James will get an email saying it's been assigned to you. And we can also do where an account rep gets notified on every change like that too, to make sure that he or she is keeping a track of the ticket's resolution. So here we go. It's now this conditional formatting app has turned this priority high, and it's still being worked on. James will have to go do something with it to bring it to resolution here. Meanwhile, we can look at this list again by different, see which ones are open, which ones are closed, which ones are from this company. So let's look at the account itself, Northwest Distribution. Now, when we were in the portal, we're looking at it from Jessica or Jennifer's approach as people in Northwest who are coming through our portal to see the tickets. But from our end, we can look at Northwest Distribution from the back end and see what's going on with this account. So, okay, here's the account information. There's account number, the type of a customer. She's a distributor. The company's a distributor. They're based in Renton, Washington. Here's the account rep. What tickets have they had? Oh, let's see. They've had these kind of tickets. What's the status? Who's working on it? Are they overdue? Those kind of things. So this is important. Of course, you click this and open up the same. If I open this, it'd be the same one I just was open back here. And again, see that going on. What a great way to see a very comprehensive view of your account and what's going on with them, and keep track of keeping them on board and happy with your service. Let's see who's in this company. Well, we have these 2 names. We can always add more, give them different titles, different roles, keep track of their email addresses, etc. And then we might have some documents from these people too. So here's some documents that we have: related contracts, related orders. So the account, we're keeping the accounts in the SharePoint list, remember. They could also be in CRMs or databases, but in this case, it's in the SharePoint list, and we're keeping track of the tickets, the contacts, all the documents. Really give us a full view of this account and what information is important there. Could we even include stuff like, are they on a support contract? Do they have other kind of arrangements with us? I mean, these things are variables that can be added in according to your specific needs. This makes a very powerful way to do customer service for your organization. And it could be scaled up or scaled down according to what your requirements are there, and be very interested to talk about it. And the contacts are listed here also. We can group them by account. Here's all, again, the 2 people in Northwest Distribution right there. So many ways to look at the contacts. The accounts we can look at, again, by the rep, who's in charge. James is in charge of these people. Pavan's in charge of these people. I mean, these accounts. We could do it by type. You know, these are the distributors we have going on here. So many ways to make and see this information here. And so we have the tickets, we have the accounts, contacts, we have documents, we have knowledge base. There could be tasks associated with the tickets. A really comprehensive system. Now, what we have going on also is the reporting. So we talked about the reporting capabilities. I know it's getting to be 40 or so minutes here, so I'll try and cover this and then see if there's any questions that have arisen. So here we have a report. This is in our Office 365 reporting. I'll go into this a little bit. So tickets by brand. So we know that there's 7 have not been assigned any brand. Maybe they're just generic questions and not really about a brand, but there's been 4 about Floor Master, 20 about the sticky glue, 8 about Supercaulk, and 7 about Weather Boss. These are, of course, made up brands for the sticky glue company that we put together for this demo. But it shows that you can look at statistics here and see. Now these could be all tickets, or we can limit it to a certain time period. We can limit it to just open tickets or closed tickets. There's ways to show a lot of good information in these reports. Here's open tickets by category and priority. Now you're seeing different kinds of graphs because there's many varieties of charts that we can generate with this report tool. It could be bar charts, columns, pie charts, area charts. It could be tables. We can do, let's look at open tickets, open staff load tickets by staff, I think is a pie chart. So these are the ones that are unassigned. These are the ones, Pavan has 5 assigned to him, James has 5, and account admin has 2. So these are the assignment of the tickets here. Open tickets by category. There's these are many complaints, 9 open complaints, that kind of thing. So there's all kinds of ways you can create different reports, and to do that you go to manage reports, and again here's our app, the app called Report Center, and it has a list of the reports, and you go ahead and create a new one right here and put in some kind of information about it, whether it has 2 axes or y-axis, and what kind of chart you want. There's different kinds, whether you want table, chart, both. You have all these different possibilities here to do it, to create these graphs and charts. Pretty good stuff. Now, if you go back to our home here, what I've done, I was in all tickets, I was in accounts, I was in documents and knowledge base. This is another kind of interface to the system. This interface, these are what we call workspaces. I'm sure you're probably familiar with them if you do SharePoint. You can create any kind of workspaces. We have this general workspace we call home, manager workspace, staff workspace. You can create many more. The fun part about this is you can stick plop, I think it's a technical word, plop or plunk, web parts into it here just by editing this page and pulling in different parts. Well, this is our tiles and dials web part, one of those apps in the Nitra Apps. And this is showing you the 4 tickets are overdue, 13 are unassigned, and 25 are still open. So you can also click this and go see those 4 if you want. There they are. Pretty cool feature there, drill down. This is showing you some kind of arc to say there's 35 out of 46 totals, there's 35 are account tickets and 11 are consumers. Account tickets being the ones associated with accounts and consumer tickets being the ones that are from individuals put in there. So that's cool, but you also can do stuff with add reports to the page. Maybe you want to manage your workspace and you want to add different information, a list of overdue tickets, what's the staff load looking like. Same thing with different colors we're just looking at. Open tickets by category and priority. So these have all been plopped into these workspaces, and this is configurable easily by you by going into page edit. We can also work with you on these. Really, we do in a demo, we do kind of generic ones. I don't know if it's quite appropriate to what you'd want to see, but you can easily manipulate this and change it and say, well, the information I really need up front and center is this. I need a list of this. I need a report about that. And then you can put that information into your workspace page right there and create a different workspace page or another one to do that. In the staff workspace, a similar idea, meaning more focused on who, in this case, admin account, what his or her admin tickets are. He has 2, as it said, 2 tickets are assigned to admin account. So he's looking, I'm looking at those 2 exact tickets. I might have other tasks, tickets, priority, things like that. So back to all tickets. So what we're showing here, to summarize, and it's going to be 45 or so minutes, what we're summarizing here, to summarize, is what we're showing is that in SharePoint and Office 365, using the enhancements that Crokin has developed in the Nitra Studio, those apps, there is a tremendous amount of capability that provides you the ability to do really adapt and configure it for your customer service needs to amp up and improve those customer service so that tickets come in from a variety of sources. There could be email, there could be a web form, there could be a phone call, there could be chat even. We've integrated, I didn't show that, but we have chat integrated. It could be chat. If you're an account in contact, it could be a portal that you're using. And these are all ways that are engaging the users, whether they're individuals or accounts, to enter in tickets. Once those tickets are entered in, they are now going through these workflows that will move them along expeditiously to conclusion. And if they get stuck anywhere, there's alerts and notifications that are going to let people know. There's many, many ways to keep track of these tickets as they come through. And I'm only really scratching the surface of what's capabilities of this program in this short demo. I also talked about the reporting, capability there, that you can have reporting on it. Like, for example, here's another quick thing, and then we'll maybe go into see if there's any questions or comments or anything like that. This person, new question inquiry from me. So I come here and I want to, this came in from the web form. It was structured, the subject of the web form was structured so that it had this particular construct of what question I chose, what type of inquiry I chose, and who it's from based on the name and other fields on that web form. So it came in. As I said, normally this would be in a real system. We would parse this out and put it into the appropriate fields. But here's an example. I can just go in here and I can email back. This is our email manager app. I can email back. I have a set of templates right here. I can create a whole bunch of them that send back almost immediately to that person what information, kind of like maybe there's a standard set of information I can pull in from an attachment. I can select a file, I can put it here and send over to him right away back to the questioner very easily, with ease. Please see the following information. If this doesn't answer your question, whatever construct here, you make up these templates. And then you're able to can messages right back. Maybe you add an attachment or you put something in here, something from knowledge base, whatever, and you send it over there and it goes over to the person and that becomes a message right back. And you know that happened because you go here to the related items and you see that this was just sent out. Here's the email history. This was the original one that came in from the web form because it comes in as an email. The web form converts it to an email. Our email sync converts it to a ticket. And then we get the ticket, and then we can send back this canned message, depending on what templates we created. See, that's one of the cool things you can do with this and make it very easy for the CSR to respond with it. You can pull in KB articles from here, from FAQs, from attachments, and start sending the information quickly back anybody's interested in this program, and I hope people are, we would talk to you individually, do a demo, discuss requirements, and see if what features in our program would fit your particular situation to move you from whatever system you're using now to one that works. It has cloud-based, mobile, Office 365, or SharePoint with all these features that we just showed here. And hopefully this would move you, which would be a great way to improve your customer service and make it more robust and capable than it perhaps is right now. So I hope this has been a good demo for you and shown what we can do, at least at a high level, what's possible. There's much, much more I can go into. Each one of these apps has a lot. I'm going back on the Nitra Apps page, the studio page. There's a lot here that, I mean, just amazing amounts of things you can do with this that enhance it. You can just add a lookup. You can have the accounts and contacts in a different site. You can do branding, cascaded lookups, printing. We haven't even went into linked items. I mean, so much you can do with this and make it how you want. Let's end it there for now. I'm going to put up a slide where you can contact us. If I can get this back going here, let's see, the contact us slide. I'll just leave it like that. I think it's good enough. So stay in touch with us. I hope this has been a useful and good demo to show you what's possible in SharePoint Office 365, how Crow Canyon has greatly enhanced it with the Nitro Studio, and how we've built these really robust and powerful applications that are focused on helping your company and organization be more successful. That's our goal. We want to help you be successful. We want to help your organization succeed, provide the better services or be more profitable, whatever your goals are, help you achieve those through these applications and through the best use of SharePoint and Office 365. So I hope that was good. I don't see any questions particularly, but anyone does, questions or demos, contact sales, give us a phone call, follow us on Twitter. That's always useful. We have a blog. It's crowcanyon.com/blog. There's a lot of good articles going on there. We're, of course, in LinkedIn. And thank you very much for attending this webinar. And I hope it was useful and I hope to hear from you. Thank you.